Hi, I'm Doug McKinlay and you're watching AdoramaTV. Now I've got a real treat in store here. I'm about to embark on a 3,500, 10-state, 4-time zone road trip across the United States from Manhattan in New York City to Manhattan Beach in Los Angeles, California. Now, I'll be doing this with my colleague Ian Belcher and our producer Gareth Hughes. Now, the whole reason for this thing is 3 episodes of insight on what photographers and writers get up to when they're on the road. The complexity of these stories often has us tripping over each other when we're trying to gather material. Now, as photographers, just by its very nature, we know we need more time, and that does cause friction. Now, that natural rub that can sometimes happen between photographers and writers can be mitigated a little bit by carving out some time on your own. Now, for me, I came to New York City a day earlier than my colleagues because I know from me that the opening pictures are the most important, and I can do it better if I'm on my own. Of course, this is a long job and a big job, and it requires a certain amount of equipment, but nothing more than I normally take. A camera body or 2, 5 or 6 lenses, a tripod, cable release, speed light, etc. But what's more important really is to get on with your writer. It requires a lot of communication, trying to figure out who needs it what and when and where. One small thing that goes wrong can destroy the whole job. You got to be very aware of these kind of things. Also, keep in mind that as you go ahead with these kind of gigs, you have to think about things like tiredness, sharing driving, time, where the light's going to be at certain times of day. As you go west, like for instance for this job, as we go west, the light will change. So we're to try and time our arrivals for that nice afternoon light. It's really important that the photographer and the writer work together, that they're on the same page. What you're trying to achieve is to match your pictures with a copy. Now, for the photographer, it's very important because once it goes back to the office, if your pictures match that copy, there's less likely that the editors are going to go outside to try and find other pictures that might be better for the copy. Something I want to mention here are commissions. Some will cover everything from hotels, airfare, food, car, etc. And others will carry pretty much nothing. So it's really important, first of all, to get your fee set. And this is where your negotiating skills come in handy. Also keep in mind that some of that stuff that you may not get covered is also really good for tax write-offs. Well, good morning. It's day 2 on our first episode of our Great American Road Trip. We're here in front of the Brooklyn Bridge with a really great sunshine, and we're just about to get going. I've got my colleague Ian Belcher, the writer here, and we are going to hit the road pretty soon. So Ian, how was the flight over?
Flight fast, comfortable, but one big problem. A couple of hours delay at London, and on a trip like this with a tight turnaround, we've immediately felt squeezed. Still, a couple of hours kip, shades for the eyes, and I'm raring to go.
So, okay, this whole thing is about you and I working together. Now, we've worked together off and on for 20 years now, and you've worked with a number of other photographers as well. So what's the most important thing for you as a writer when you work with a photographer?
Well, when I'm a writer working with a photographer, the key thing is that you're both on the same page. The words and pictures have a symbiotic relationship. They enhance each other. You've got an angle for the story, and you want the photographs to back up the angle of your story. Now, for instance, this isn't just about New York to LA. This is about Manhattan to Manhattan Beach, LA. So this opening shot, this one here, this is crucial to this story. It's all about the angle. And if we stop talking, I don't get your input, you don't know what I want, you can end up with maybe 2,000 words and a series of pictures that don't talk to each other. It's a disaster.
So there you have it. That's why it's so important for photographers and writers to get along, at least superficially, get those great pictures and great copy. Thank you for watching AdoramaTV from Ian and I in Brooklyn.